I can't believe it's already been this long, but today marks 1 year since I first started my YouTube channel. In the past year I've done a lot and I've learned a lot, and as we begin 2020, I wanted to first take some time to reflect on 2019. Throughout the year I've sought to find my identity as a content creator, and I juggled between all sorts of videos in the process. And in this video, I'll be taking a look back on my videos and how they've changed over the course of 2019, on how I tried to become a bigger part of the anime community, on how I grew as a person, and on how so many of you have helped or encouraged me along the way. So let's rewind to where it all began, to January 2019. My first ever video was an AMV for Iroduku The World in Colors, which, if I'm being honest, I only really did because I was ridiculously nervous about recording myself talking, and I wouldn't need to for an AMV. Just pick a song, pick some clips, match them up. Now, obviously making a good AMV is a lot harder than that, and I learned that the hard way. There's a lot of impressive editors out there, and I'm not one of them. So I focused more on matching clips to the lyrics and the emotions that they both portrayed. I think the end of the video is kind of sloppy, but I really don't think it was that bad for a first video. Now, initially my goal was to make a video a week, which to nobody's surprise who's tried to do YouTube before, is a monumentally difficult task when it's not your full-time job. I was a senior in college trying to spend time with my friends, play games, and watch anime, and somehow fit YouTube into all of that. You know, I actually did manage to get a video out consistently for a few weeks. I got 9 out in the first 2 months. Not too bad. I got one out talking about my favorite openings of 2018. I did a video ripping Crunchyroll a new one for their nominees for their awards. I did 3 videos on my own awards in retaliation, and I did a brief review of A Place Further Than the Universe. In February, I tried to take it a step further with my Waifu Wars and Spec Ops Asuka videos, and this is where the seeds of where my current content were sown. In these videos, I tried to incorporate much more editing, humor, and inflection in my voice. If you were to watch my oldest videos, and to an extent my current videos, you'd probably notice that I have a kind of monotone voice. And because I don't want my viewers to die of boredom while they're watching my stuff, I figured that really trying to inflect and add comedy would help. And it did. AMV aside, these quickly became my best performing videos. This felt so gratifying because I spent significantly more time on those, and I stepped outside of my comfort zone, and they reaffirmed that I was moving in the right direction. They were more fun to make, and as a result, they were more fun to watch. My next few videos were few and far between and relatively low effort because school really kicked up, but in late May I graduated, and in June, I made my triumphant return with the Waifu Wars of Spring 2019, which completely flopped and was in fact not triumphant. Which, to be honest, was deserved. I didn't feel as strongly about the jokes or have as much to say about the characters, and the video suffered for it. So I took a step back. Now, some of you might know me from Reddit, where I got some attention during the annual Best Girl contest in the summer. Not only did I make a hype video pitting anime girls as Lord of the Rings characters fighting against shit taste and admins, I also hosted a contest called Best Girl Madness. As the title would imply, it was basically a March Madness bracket but for 500 anime girls. And I didn't even remotely anticipate the response that I would get. Nearly 250 people participated in this with me, and it was genuinely a ton of fun talking with everyone in the comments about what upsets we predicted and lamenting all of our guesses that didn't go our way. I met so many people who I otherwise wouldn't have, and it was a great opportunity for me to finally stop being a bystander and actually be a part of the anime community. At the end of it all, I was invited to be a guest on the Our Anime podcast to discuss the final results and the overall contest. This was my first time being a guest somewhere or live streaming anything, so I probably sounded ridiculously nervous at the start, but it was a great experience and I had a lot of fun doing it. This could be considered my turning point. Inspired by videos like Gigguk's Seasonal Anime in a Nutshell series, I decided to do my own seasonal preview in a similar vein. I watched the first episode of a ton of new seasonals, came up with some jokes, and I put them all through the watch it, consider it, or drop it test. This was the first video in what would become my new and current style. I tried to blend both comedy, light analysis, and my own feelings on a show to create something that was genuine to me and my thoughts. And as you can see by comparing the view counts of my newest few videos with my oldest, it's clear that the quality and reception have gone way up. My videos are longer and they require much more effort, planning, and time than they used to. But despite the increased load on my end, I have a lot more fun making them. Oh, and during this time frame, I hit 69 subs. Nice. In September, things really started to pick up for me. I put out a new Waifu Wars video which I think more than made up for my previous piss-poor excuse for one, and I tried out something new that I'd been wanting to do for a while. A short comedy sketch filmed in real life. I love guys like Long Beach Griffey, Caleb City, Sylvanas, and RDC World, and this was my attempt at doing a brief skit in the same vein as theirs. And while it's certainly not as funny or well put together as theirs are, I liked it and I had a lot of fun doing it. I'd really like to make more of those in the future, and I have a few ideas, so we'll see what happens. I also saw Promare, which was the first ever anime movie that I saw in theaters, and I really liked it, so much so that I felt the need to crank out a video in only a couple days giving my thoughts on it. And it did really well. I got a ton of nice comments, and it even hit suggested videos briefly. It's my best performing video to date purely based on the ratios. I was really proud of what I accomplished with that script, editing, and music use, and the positive reception really boosted my confidence in my content. And just a month after hitting 69 subs in mid-August, thanks to that Promare and Waifu Wars video, I not only passed 100 subs, but I also passed 10,000 views on my channel. I mean, wow. To me, that was the first real moment that I kind of felt like I made it. Is 100 subs a big deal in the long run? Not really, but to any new YouTuber, 100 subs is the biggest milestone that you could hit, and holy shit did it feel good to hit it, especially in only 9 months. In October, I put out my longest and most content-filled video yet, which was a look at Carolyn Tuesday and why I ultimately ended up being disappointed by it. Because this was my first video that had a more negative skew, I also ended up getting more negative comments from people who disagreed with me. And that's fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and I would never put somebody down because we didn't share one. That being said, this video was a bit of a wake-up call to me, in the sense that I realized that if people didn't like me or the video I put out, I would definitely hear about it. And I definitely heard about it in the comments. But overall, I was pretty happy with how the video turned out, and it's my most viewed video to date thanks to being recommended by YouTube for a few weeks. November, though, that was arguably my biggest and best month of the year. It all kicked off with my fall seasonal video, where I crushed my previous record for duration at over 20 minutes, and where I also mentioned more than 30 unique anime in that time frame. I was really happy with how much content I fit in that video, and the accompanying reception that I got. The month ended with a video discussing Babylon. I was really proud of that script, because not only did I try to incorporate more analysis about the direction and visual metaphors in the show, but I also feel like I just did a great job of conveying my feelings and expressing my genuine passion for it. Unfortunately, I shot myself in the foot by posting it on a Thanksgiving weekend, and then I had a nuke dropped on me when Mother's Basement dropped his own video on Babylon just a few hours later, and with a similar title, thumbnail, and color scheme at that. The biggest event for me though, and one of my fondest memories of the year at that, was attending Anime NYC. This was my first ever anime convention, and if I'm being honest, I think it may have been one of my favorite weekends ever. I can't even begin to describe how fun it was to walk around, see all of the cosplay, check out all the vendors and art, attend panels and events, and be surrounded by tens of thousands of other passionate anime fans. I actually planned on doing a vlog of it at first, but ultimately ended up being too camera shy and otherwise too absorbed in the convention to do anything more than a few pictures and videos here and there. The first day I spent a lot of my time checking out vendors and also attended a Bang Dream panel featuring Miku Ito, where I ended up being one of the lucky 8 attendees to play a game of Bang Dream with her. I mean, how fucking cool is that? I played a game with one of the vocalists of that game, and an all-around great voice actress herself. I don't think I'll ever forget that. And shout out to my man Josh for being my new Bang Dream friend, Afterglow for life. The second day I spent a lot more time browsing Artist Alley, and I met so many talented artists and I bought so much great art. I'm just going to showcase some of my favorites in the video while I keep talking. To end the day, Miku Ito put on a brief performance where she sang 3 songs from Bang Dream, which was actually her first ever performance in the USA. So not only did I play a game with her, but I was part of history. I may have spent a lot more money than I anticipated, but it was worth every cent. This was basically the perfect way to close out my year, and I can't wait for both Anime NYC and Anime Boston in 2020. In December, I started a few videos but ultimately didn't end up finishing them because they weren't fitting what I consider to be the new standard that I set for myself with my previous few videos. That being said, I did spend some time planning for my next ones. I'm hoping to get a KyoAni tribute AMV out sometime soon, and then also post a video about my top 25 anime of the decade, a winter seasonal roundup, and also post my 2019 Anime Awards in early February. I also spent some time on branding for myself, where I commissioned some art for my channel. Yes, that's me doing the Steins Gate pose, and yes, I love it. I'm looking forward to using these for all my social media and YouTube accounts. Oh, and to top it all off, I hit 169 subs. Nice. And that's been my journey in 2019. I started off with 0 subs like everyone else, but somehow ended the year with nearly 200, and over 25,000 video views. I started the year off unconfident in myself and my videos, but I ended it by discovering the kind of content that I like creating and renewing my passion for anime. I started off as a bystander in the community, and I ended it by making new friends and immersing myself in that community. And as much as I've grown as a channel, fan, and person, none of this would have been possible without your support. So I'd like to spend the remainder of the video thanking the people who have helped me over this past year. Thank you to my online and IRL friends who constantly put up with me asking for their opinions on my video ideas, thumbnails, and titles. To my man Marcus for always leaving nice comments on my videos. You're a real OG. You've been here since the beginning. I've seen you. To MAB fan for posting my videos on Reddit sometimes. It's cool knowing that there's someone out there who likes them enough to actually share them. To Shaw for inviting me onto the Our Anime podcast as a special guest and doing a great job hosting the Best Girl contest overall. And speaking of Reddit, to all of the Redditors who made hosting Best Girl Madness so much fun, especially Mad Scientist and Deafness for being my arch rivals throughout the entire competition. To Josh for starting a conversation with me at Anime NYC and being my first IRL friend who likes Bang Dream, which made the weekend even better. To the other small content creators I've met so far who have encouraged me. To Lashwu, Ottermochi, and Noonday for the great art for my channel. And last but certainly not least, to all of the people who have left me nice comments on YouTube, Twitter, and Reddit. They absolutely make my day, and I love knowing that there are people out there who actually enjoy what I do. Seriously, thank you all so much for everything this past year. You helped make this whole foray into content creation worth it, and it really means a lot to me to have this kind of support so far. I mean, the whole reason that I even started making videos was not just to have an excuse to talk about anime, but to meet more people who like anime, and this has more than exceeded my expectations. I'm really looking forward to keeping this up with you guys in 2020, and I hope you're excited for what's coming. If you aren't already subscribed to me on YouTube or following me on Twitter at JDefenseAnime, then feel free to do that now. And as always, thanks for checking out my video, and until next time.